Shocking first-time stats. Tonight on our news, live at 7, social services releasing data on elderly abuse from neglect to homelessness. A full breakdown straight ahead. Also, the Prime Minister announced a budget surplus in May, but now questions are growing as cabinet ministers appear to be backtracking the statement. This as the passing of Golden Isles MP Vaughan Miller has triggered the country's 12th by-election in 50 years. The Prime Minister says a date will be announced, but not just yet. Then in our news at 7:30, with control of this year's parades in question, a former JCNP chairman warns that politics is seeping into Junkanoo and predicts the season won't end well. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Physical and sexual abuse, homelessness, and neglect, just some of the issues facing the elderly. Startling statistics were released for the first time ever by the Department of Social Services detailing the shocking treatment. Joshua Williams gets us started with this breakdown.
The Department of Social Services is shining light on the elderly over the next 30 days, celebrating Older Persons Month and advocating for care and protection of senior citizens in the community. The World Health Organization defines elder abuse as a single or repeated act or lack of appropriate action occurring within any relationship where there is an exception of trust, which causes harm or distress to an older person. At a press conference on Friday, Social Services Minister Miles Laroda shared some alarming stats. Laroda says data recorded by the Senior Citizens Division since 2023 shows there were 33 reports of neglect, 1 report of self-neglect, 2 reports of financial abuse, 9 reports of physical abuse, 6 reports of verbal abuse, and 1 report of sexual abuse.
Behind every one of these numbers is a life, a mother, a father, a grandparent, a neighbor, someone who deserved to live with dignity and respect.
But that's not all. There's also been requests for housing, 123 for government rental units, 163 requests for group house placement, with the government group homes only able to hold 40, and 74 requests for geriatric hospital placement has been made.
What is most alarming is that there is so many of these requests and reports come from older persons who had nowhere to live or who are living in substandard conditions.
So where do we go from here, and how can you help? You're encouraged to recognize and observe the signs of elder abuse, check on older persons regularly, and speak out where necessary.
And elders who live on family islands are just as important. The minister says they too must not be left out.
Most people know about the food assistance, sometimes repairs to the homes, but simple things like a wheelchair that now I could go to church. Now I could go outside, I could get wheel on my porch and not just be confined to a home is what social services do.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. And the Department of Social Services also stepping in to assist multiple families affected by Tropical Storm Imelda. We'll tell you more about that in about 5 minutes. But now to this. More questions surrounding the Davis administration's 2025-2026 budget and surplus. In May, the Prime Minister proudly announced a budget surplus, but now both the PM and his cabinet appear to be walking back the claims. Tonight, Megan Shepherd takes a look at how we got here.
I'm pleased to say that in this arena, too, we have achieved an important first. The first government in an independent Bahamas to produce a budget surplus.
That was Prime Minister Philip Davis back on May 28th in the House of Assembly, announcing a budget surplus to thunderous applause and a standing ovation.
Prime Minister never said this country is in a surplus. Prime Minister says that we anticipate that at the end of this budget year that we are in now, 2025, which began July 1st and concludes June 30th, 2026, that we anticipate a budget surplus of approximately $75 million.
And that was Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis just yesterday telling reporters at the weekly Office of the Prime Minister briefing that the Prime Minister did not say this government achieved a budget surplus, but rather it was a projection, a stark contrast to the Prime Minister's actual verbiage in his presentation. The official website for the government of the Bahamas currently still featuring an article titled PM Davis announces a first for an independent Bahamas, a balanced budget. The article quoting the nation's leader as saying, quote, more than a balanced budget, a budget surplus, end quote. But this is not the first time the Davis administration claimed that the Prime Minister did not tout of a budget surplus. In July, Davis labeled a local daily's headline referencing the surplus as political mischief.
But that's far from the truth. How could April 25 deficit impact us when people don't understand and there's be misled by political cheapness? That's what it is. Because it's a complete misrepresentation.
The ongoing denial raising questions now, not only by members of the opposition, but also by other political parties and the Bahamian public. The ongoing denial raising questions now, not only by members of the opposition, but also by other political parties and the Bahamian public.
The first government in an independent Bahamas to produce a budget surplus.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepherd.
All right, thanks for that, Megan. And the Prime Minister also saying it's too early to determine a date for a pending by-election spurred by the untimely passing of Golden Isles Member of Parliament Von Miller. It's been nearly a week since the former broadcaster, trade unionist and pastor passed away. Miller held the seat for the Progressive Liberal Party and served as Environment and Natural Resources Minister. His sudden death making way for the 12th by-election in 50 years. According to the Constitution, a by-election must be held 60 days after the seat becomes vacant. Davis spoke with reporters on the sideline of a memorial service for Miller at Progressive Liberal Party headquarters last night.
We are mourning at time, and I will give consideration to that. The law requires me to call it a by-election within 60 days. I'm giving consideration to that.
All right, and we'll have more from that memorial service coming up in Our News at 7:30. A 29-year-old police constable has denied touching 2 children sexually. Constable Latario Sands is accused of indecently assaulting 2 girls ages 12 and 15 on September 28th. He denied the allegations at his arraignment before Magistrate Abigail Farrington. His bail has been set at $7,500 and Sands is forbidden from contacting any prosecution witnesses. His trial set to begin next January. Sands, who worked at Western Station, has been suspended from duty and placed on half pay until the case is finished. And a man with a tattoo of a cross on his face has been acquitted on directions from a judge. Justice Neil Brathwaite ordered jurors to acquit Delvon Pinder of attempted murder, armed robbery, and attempted armed robbery charges. The charges stem from an incident at Yamacraw Beach on February 8, 2022. At around 8 p.m., police say Bannerman Campbell and Alyssa Miller were parked by the beach in his Honda Civic. A gunman opened the door and demanded that they get out. Campbell was unable to find the keys to push start the vehicle, and the assailant shot him in the arm and leg. The robber grabbed Miller's phone from the center console before he ran away. And although Campbell said he looked in the robber's face, he made no mention of a tattoo between the man's eyes. Pinder was represented by David Cash, Davina Pinder, and Akiri Nichols, prosecuted. The Department of Social Services stepping in to assist multiple families affected by Tropical Storm Imelda. According to Social Services Minister Miles LaRota, the storm, it dumped inches of rain, damaging homes and communities throughout New Providence. Speaking on the sidelines of the launch of Older Persons Month, the minister gave this update.
There have been instances, multiple instances of people, as a result of the rain. We have some cases of roofs collapsing. Those would have known the first set of homes in Pinewood, they had that concrete cast roof. So we have, some roof that has caved in. We've had some people where the flooding has been so bad that they had to move out. And so we have social services intervening to assisting with temporary shelter.
And while Pinewood is his constituency, he says the assistance is available for all who need it, adding that the strength of those living in those communities has been shown once again. Just how long will residents be in those shelters?
Depending on the level of flooding, you had some people who had probably like half an inch of water in their homes, of which they have removed it. You had others who had literally have to have pumps and pump the water out. And, you know, I speak to some of those individuals. So if, depending on the severity, if your roof collapsed but you could get it ready in 2 weeks or a month, but the government is committed to extend those persons until, you know, they are in a position to go back within reason.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Happy Friday, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Kendin, and a happy TGIF, everybody. What a week it has been. We had 2 storms for the weekend out there in the open Atlantic, but much improved conditions across the area. We are still on the nice side outside our studios, 80 degrees with a few clouds. It is still on the breezy side. Your winds are out of the east at 15 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is in the upper 80s. Temperatures right now around the family of islands. We are at 80 degrees in Freeport, 79 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We pick up 79 in Great Harbor Key as well. 80s in Nickel San Andres here in the capital and in Governor's Harbor. Bimini, 82. Central Bahamas, 81. Kemps Bay, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Port Nelson, 80 in Black Point, Exuma, and you guys have some showers nearby. 82 in Georgetown, Exuma, Deadman's Key, Long Island, and in Coben Townsend, Salvador, and into the southeast Bahamas. 83, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Abrahams Bay, Providenciales, Tricks, and Caicos Islands. 82 is Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands, and Matthew Town, Inagua, deep south. Your temperature right now is at 85. Satellite radar composite, that moisture plume associated with Imelda, which is gone. Basically out there in the open Atlantic, post-tropical, that moisture plume will continue to spark a few showers and some thunderstorms, mainly across the northwest Bahamas. Some of that could make it into the central Bahamas during the weekend, but the forecast calls for cloudy conditions with some showers, so you may have to keep your rain gear handy for the weekend. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Jazz and the Yankees win their wild card series. Vijay Edgecombe steps on an NBA court for the first time, and the Bahamas baseball team wins their second straight in Panama. It's all coming up on Our Sports at 7.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tej Adderley, and this is Our Sports at 7. Jazz Chisholm and the Yankees won their wildcard series, vanquishing their oldest rival last night. Jazz went 2 for 4 with 2 singles, and he scored a run to help the Yanks get the 4-0 win over the Boston Red Sox. Rookie pitcher Cam Schlittler dominated on the mound, pitching 8 scoreless innings, striking out 12. The win advances them to the AL Division Series, where they'll play another division rival, the Toronto Blue Jays. And over in the association, Vijay Edgecombe took the floor for the first time, but it was in Abu Dhabi. The 6'4" guard from Bimini got the start for the Philadelphia 76ers in their preseason debut, losing to the New York Knicks 99-84. Vijay tied for the team high in points with 14, and he had 6 rebounds and 3 assists. And down in Panama, the Bahamas national U23 baseball team got their second straight win. Team 242 beat Cuba by the thinnest of margins, winning 1-0. The Bahamas also had 3 hits, all singles, and they scored the only run of the game on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Tariq Sherman pitched 6 1/3 shutout innings, giving up 4 hits before Oryx Xavier Saint took over to finish Cuba off. We have all those stories and more coming up at 7:30. For Our Sports at 7, I'm Tej Adderley.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as music mogul Sean Diddy Combs gets jail time and a $500,000 fine for prostitution-related charges. Plus, U.S. Democrats want to extend health care tax credits, but Republicans refuse. President Trump using the stalemate to push deep cuts and layoffs. And with gangs still controlling most of Port-au-Prince, the UN Security Council backs a 5,500-member mission. Questions remain, though, about funding and timeline. The story when our news returns.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with the Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to...
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to 4 years in prison and fined $500,000 after being convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He was acquitted of more serious charges earlier this year. Prosecutors say Combs was so confident he'd walk free, he had already booked speaking engagements in Miami. In court, he apologized and asked for mercy, but the judge denied him bail. Hope is fading for a quick end to the United States government shutdown, now dragging into its 3rd day. Democrats are demanding an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits. Republicans are refusing. And President Donald Trump is using the impasse to push for agencies to make deep cuts and layoffs. About 750,000 federal workers could be furloughed, losing some $400 million in daily wages. Both parties are blaming each other with no deal in sight. The new Archbishop of Canterbury says the Church of England stands with the Jewish community after a deadly synagogue attack in Manchester. Sarah Malele made the pledge in her first speech since being appointed, becoming the first woman to lead the church in its nearly 500-year history. The 63-year-old former nurse also called for a culture of openness and respect in the church.
As a church, we have too often failed to recognize or take seriously the misuse of power in all its forms. As Archbishop, my commitment will be to ensure that we continue to listen to survivors, care for the vulnerable, and foster a culture of safety and well-being for all. This will not be easy. Our history of safeguarding failures have left the legacy of deep harm and mistrust.
Afghanistan's internet and mobile telephone services were down nationwide on Tuesday for the second day running, but the Taliban administration offered no immediate explanation. In the past, the Taliban have voiced concerns about pornography online, with authorities having cut fiber optic links to some provinces in recent weeks as officials cited moral concerns. Connectivity was cut in phases on Monday, with the final stage affecting telephone services, which share infrastructure with the internet. And the United Nations Security Council has approved a new gang suppression force for Haiti aimed at taking on groups that now control about 90% of the capital, Port-au-Prince. The force will have more than 5,000 personnel and a year-long mandate, but funding and deployment details remain unclear. Haitians who've lost homes and loved ones say they hope this mission will be different as U.S. officials promise a swift rollout. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was October 3rd. Then in our news at 7:30, a 23-year-old has been sentenced to 7 years in prison for raping his 14-year-old sister. And after years of complaints, a temporary causeway said to be built across the canal on Grand Bahama. Officials say it will keep heavy vehicles moving safely until the bridge can be fully replaced. The story when our news returns.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record, we challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt into SportsX for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
On this day in Bahamian history, in 2012, the Free National Movement North Andros candidate for the 2020 or 2012 by-election Greg Gomez, he came under fire after admitting he declared love offerings from churches as his salary. Fast forward to 2018, former Mortgage Corporation Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sass revealed the BMC was owed millions. And in 2020, health officials revealed the second wave of COVID-19 was impacting more young people than any other age category. If you want to learn more about the events that shaped the day that was October 3rd, head over to ournews.bs. All right, the Royal Bahamas Police Force hosting its annual stakeout and fundraiser Saturday. The event will see Bahamian entertainers like Fanshawn, Carrington McKenzie, and many others. There'll also be loads of activities for the kids, including a game room. Inspector Gerard Culmer telling Our News the event, it's an opportunity for the public to get to know law enforcement officers better.
Great opportunity for members of the public to get to know their local police officers. Like I reiterated earlier, a lot of police officers will be here, so we would encourage you to bring your family out here and you could actually get to meet the officer in charge of a particular in area. If you live in the South Beach community, the Pinewood community, you can come and meet Chief Superintendent Lily Smith. If you live in the Carmichael Road area, Glasgow area, you come and meet Chief Superintendent Nixon. So it'll be a great opportunity for everybody.
And there'll also be a raffle where you can win a car or even a trip for your family. And Culmer says the event will also raise funds to add to their welfare fund.
Because of the events of COVID-19, then also the hurricane, what happened simultaneously. And the commissioners also use this fund so they can actually help officers in time of need, in sickness and various matters. But I won't go into too much detail. So we need opportunity to replenish that fund so we can take care of our police officers. Because we can't take care of members of the public if we don't take care of ourselves first.
All right, if you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Natalia Hall is up now with your latest headlines. Happy Friday, Natalia.
Happy Friday, Ken. It's been a long week.
I know. And I know you need some rest.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Ken. Enjoy your weekend. Well, coming up, the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union calling a press conference late this afternoon and a legal aid clinic, set for tomorrow. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News at 7:30, with management of this year's John Canoe Parade set to shift, a former JCNP chairman says politics is overshadowing the culture, predicting this season may not end well. Also, a disturbing case before the court. A man sentenced to 7 years behind bars after raping his 14-year-old sister. Plus, will the Pinewood Gardens community see an end to their flooding issues? We have more straight ahead. And later, relief is on the way for Grand Bahama drivers. This as a causeway will be built to replace the crumbling Tano Beach Bridge, which is set to begin construction by mid-October. The story when Our News at 7:30 returns.
Candino Knowles here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Tired of weak, over-the-counter bug sprays? Step up your pest control game with professional-grade products from the Struckham Shop. From powerful insecticides to trusted gel baits and termiticides, we supply the same products used by Struckham Commercial Pest Services, now available for DIY homeowners and small pest control pros. Whether you're protecting your home or building your business, get the edge with the Struckham Shop.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. With management for this year's Junkanoo Parade set to shift, a former Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence chairman believes politics is hurting Junkanoo. He predicts this Junkanoo season won't end well. Our Berthany McDermott reports.
The politicians have allowed themselves to let their emotion and nepotism get involved in Junkanoo.
Former Junkanoo Corporation Chairman Silbert Ferguson is speaking out against the government's decision to manage Junkanoo parades moving forward. Youth, Sports and Culture Minister Mario Boleg announced at a press conference earlier this week that parade management will be turned over to the National Junkanoo Committee. But he didn't stop there. He said the government has no obligation to the JCNP, which has managed the parades for 21 years. To that, Ferguson says the minister was totally out of order.
The Attorney General should not be involved in the JCNP rules to ask them to move the exhibition clause in the rules so the way forward don't have to exhibit. Take my words, okay? And the minister should not be asking the Junkanoo Corporation to remove the disqualification clause in the rules because the music makers and the prodigal sons can't qualify in the A division. I mean, what are we saying?
Ferguson says it's unfortunate the Junkanoo community has found themselves in this position. He reiterated that this entire ordeal stemmed from the division in the Valley Boys.
And the government is very, very wrong for their stance. Okay? They should have never gotten involved with this. We had a job to do. We were doing that job to the best of our ability. We have run richest parades in 20 years. Okay? We had this hiccup with the Valley Boys, and it was a hiccup for all.
At the end of it all, the former JCNP chairman says this will have a devastating impact on Junkanoo.
This season ain't gonna end nice. Okay? Don't think this can be a nice season. You know, to me, it ain't gonna be a nice season.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks so much, Berthany. While the streets of Freeport are about to come alive on October 11th, this as the Grand Bahama Port Authority is celebrating 70 years of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement in the city of Freeport. And they're doing it in true Bahamian style with a Junkanoo Rush. It's all happening on October 11th on Explorers Way, downtown Freeport. The event, called the City Community Junkanoo Rush, will feature some of Grand Bahama's best groups, including the Swingers, Superstar Rockers, Platinum Knights, Classic Dancers, and New Generation. The groups will compete in 3 categories: Best Music, Best Choreography, and Best Banner, all under the theme Music Through the Decades. Each group was provided with seed funding from the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Chairman of the GBPA, Sarah St. George, and President Ian Roll shares more.
I think it's time. It's we were spared the storms last weekend, and I think we have a lot to be very, very thankful for, and I want to acknowledge everybody here. I want to thank everyone here for participating. It makes all the difference.
We decided to bring everyone together for a good old Junkanoo rush out in true Bahamian fashion. This event is about creating a shared moment where residents, families, and visitors can experience the pride and spirit of Freeport together in celebration of our city's legacy.
And Junkanooers say they're ready to bring the energy, while Deputy Director of Youth, Sports and Culture in Grand Bahama, Norris Bain, says he's excited that they get to celebrate the work of the GBPA.
I know that the people of Grand Bahama are going to be excited for 70 years of building the city of Freeport. And so I'm looking forward to the presentations by the 5A groups and see which one of them can really depict the history of this island in a meaningful way and bring a lot of knowledge to our young people, because a lot of people don't know how long it's been. And so this is really good. And I was telling the minister this morning about it. And you're actually going to be kicking off the Junkanoo season for us, and that's great.
Well, a man who raped his 14-year-old sister has been jailed for 7 years. Justice Renee McKay also ordered the 23-year-old sex offender to serve 2 years of probation upon release from custody. He risks going back to prison for 2 years if he reoffends during that period. The attacker was 21 when he committed the crime on September 13, 2023. The court heard the incident happen while their mother and stepfather went to the grocery store, leaving the children behind. The teen went to shower. While there, her brother knocked and said he needed to use the bathroom. She unlocked the door and let him in, and he raped her on the bathroom floor. He pleaded guilty to incest before his trial began on May 7th, sparing his sister the trauma of publicly reliving the incident. Well, after decades of dealing with flooding, Pinewood residents may soon see some relief. During the budget debate in June, government has earmarked $20 million for drainage and infrastructure upgrades in the community. Pinewood Gardens was one of several communities that suffered severe flooding over the weekend following Tropical Storm Imelda. Pinewood Member of Parliament Miles Arota says the investment represents a long overdue commitment to solving a problem that has plagued the area for more than 40 years.
The government decided that they were going to invest through the IDB funding some $100 million for infrastructure that included flooded communities. Pinewood was assigned $20 million in this budget. And so the town hall meeting tonight is for the residents of Pinewood to hear from the professionals what the timelines are and what they could expect and what is the government's response in terms of the technical aspect of drain remediation.
LaRota made the comments while speaking on the sidelines of a press conference for Older Persons Month. He says while storm cleanup and temporary assistance is still ongoing, the focus is now on long-term flood prevention. The area MP says fixing Pinewood's drainage is his top priority.
We are playing the cards that have been dealt to us. We cannot speak for other administrations across both parties why it wasn't done. It became a priority of this government. I campaigned on bringing relief to the drainage problem in Pinewood. We are where we are. Preliminary reports have put in the media that this ain't going to be done over a week. It's going to be a process, and residents will hear tonight that what all is going to be entailed.
Well, for years, residents and business owners have been sounding the alarm, saying the Tano Beach Bridge on Grand Bahama is crumbling and long overdue for repairs. But there's finally some relief in sight. This as the Lakaya Service Company and Tamarind Development announcing that construction of a temporary causeway will soon begin, allowing heavy vehicles to once again travel freely through the area. The Grand Bahama Port Authority has given the green light for the limestone causeway to be built across the canal, serving as a safe diversion route until the bridge can be fully replaced. Bahamas Hot Mix has been awarded the contract with work expected to start by mid-October and wrap up in about 8 weeks. The roadway will feature a 20-foot asphalt surface, with 10-foot shoulders on both sides, and will sit 5 feet above the canal, making it strong and stable. Assistant Maintenance Manager at LASCO, Corey Cartwright, says the project is necessary to protect the community.
As far as causeway design is on the eastern side of the Tano Beach Bridge. It'll be one-way traffic, 2 lanes traveling north and south to allow residents to access the area for whatever services or whether it's just visitation points to the beach. Yes, this would definitely alleviate all concerns that we have, and it will allow the teams that we have, the engineering teams and our teams from overseas, to continue to assess the bridge. We have 2 different types of build that we are looking at. We're looking at the precast, which is normal concrete and steel, and we're also looking at the acro bridge, which is an aluminum bridge that is used like back in the early war days, the Bailey Bridge. The timeline for that will be 8 to 12 months if it is for the acro. For the precast, it'll be a year and probably about 3 months.
In the capital on this Friday, meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy TGIF, everybody. Beautiful evening setting up for us on the outdoors. Temperatures in the low 80s, 80 degrees, our current temperature with a few clouds. It's still on the breezy side. Your winds are out of the east at 15 miles per hour, but your feels like temperature it's still a comfortable 88 degrees, but that's comfortable for our standards. Satellite radar composite. Moisture plumes still extending across us from what was Imelda, now a post-tropical cyclone and pushing well out there in the open Atlantic. That will spark a few showers across our area tonight through tomorrow. Looks as though this will remain with us through the weekend and into the early part of next week. So you may want to keep that rain gear handy or nearby because you may have to use it. But we should see some sunshine and temperatures will be back up near the 90 degree mark for the weekend. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us, a look at your extended forecast, and a look at the tropics still to come.
Still to come in our news, the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union calling a press conference this afternoon. We'll tell you what's behind the sudden move straight ahead, and later the Progressive Liberal Party mourning the loss of Member of Parliament Vaughn Miller during an emotional memorial service when our news returns.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road in Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
May be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
While unions representing staff at BTC accusing the telecommunications company of wrongfully terminating some 11 employees this week alone. Both are committed to doing everything within their power to ensure the terminated employees are reinstated. At a press conference Friday afternoon, leaders of Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union and the Managers Union are claiming employees are being victimized and threatened if they do not do certain acts. Union leaders say the company is deteriorating, adding they don't believe the company is living up to its contractual agreement with employees nor the service they provide to the public. BCPOU President Sherry Benjamin calling on government to step in.
Prime Minister, we are asking you to take BTC back. Take it back. These people are running this company in the ground. This is the first telecommunications company that was in this Bahamas, and we've ridden with the Bahamas from the inception 100 years. Come on, we need to do better. And we allow these people to come in here and destroy this company.
Well, switching gears now, Environment and Natural Resources Minister Vaughn Miller remembered last night by hundreds who gathered at the Sir Lyndon Pinling Center on Farrington Road. The Progressive Liberal Party held a memorial to honor the Member of Parliament for Golden Isles. Miller, who passed away Sunday morning, was remembered by dozens of friends and colleagues as a devoted husband, father, pastor, and MP. Chairman of Miller's constituency branch, Henrico Ellis, recalled numerous youth initiatives in the area, including the MP's final summer camp. Ellis called it a true representation of his desire to serve.
Under Vaughn's guidance, these young minds learn to play instruments like the tum-tum, bass drums, cowbells, scraping instruments. And as he often said, and I quote, "In unity, there is strength." And through this camp, our children learn the power of community and the pride of our culture.
Prime Minister Philip Davis also reflected on Miller's legacy of service and pointed to his island roots, praising his loyalty. Davis says he was always one to remind him of what leadership was all about.
Vaughn's life was defined by service. He grew up in Eleuthera with values of faith, family, and community. He carried those values into every arena of his life. As a pastor, broadcaster, trade unionist, parliamentarian, and a minister. No matter the role, his mission was the same: serve others.
Jazz and the New York Yankees win the deciding game in their series. Vijay Echka makes his pro debut, and Team Bahamas picks up another win in Panama. Our Sports at 7:30 is up next.
The future of energy in the Bahamas is changing.
When you're searching for the whole truth. Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say you get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution. Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court apartment complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Kendino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the Live Fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a Live Fiber.
Good evening, I'm Tage Adderley, and this is Our Sports at 7:30. 21 years ago, the great Boston Red Sox pitcher Pedro Martinez said, "What can I say? I just tipped my hat and called the Yankees my daddies." Jazz Chisholm and his team continued in that paternal tradition last night, sending the Sox to their room for the offseason. Jazz went 2 for 4 with a couple of singles and a run scored as his Yankees beat their division rival Boston Red Sox 4-0 to wrap their wildcard series up. Rookie pitcher Cam Schlittler had the game of his life, pitching 8 shutout innings old school style, striking out 12, surrendering only 5 hits to get the win on the mound. All of the Yankees' runs, including Jazz's, came in a 4th inning rally, which included 4 hits and a fielding error that allowed Jazz to score. Anthony Volpe and Ahmed Rosario had 1 hit and 1 RBI apiece to help get the win. Now that the Yankees have vanquished their division rival, they'll have another waiting for them in the American League Division Series when they play the Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees finished the season in a dead heat with the Jays, with both teams finishing with identical 94 and 68 records. The Blue Jays got the better of the Yankees in their head-to-head matchups this past season though, winning 8 games over the Yankees' 5. And we're looking forward to that playoff series. It's going to be really entertaining. That starts tomorrow afternoon. We'll have all the highlights. We're on to the association where rookie sensation Vijay Echka made his preseason debut for his new team in Abu Dhabi. The explosive guard from Bimini logged 14 points on 4 of 13 shooting, along with 6 rebounds and 3 assists in his very first time in a pro uniform, but his Philadelphia 76ers lost 99-84 to the New York Knicks. Most of Vijay's struggles came from beyond the arc, where he went 1 for 6, but he showed his trademark explosiveness, taking 9 shots in the paint, and he was also a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Vijay's backcourt mate Tyrese Maxey had 14 points as well, with 4 rebounds and 4 assists, and Kelly Oubre had 8 points to add to the Sixers' attack. Karl Anthony Towns had 11 points to lead the Knicks, and Mitch Robinson pulled down 16 rebounds. And they'll play again next Friday against the Orlando Magic. Now we're back to the Diamond, where the Bahamas got another win in Panama.
The whole team played well. We knew from the storm that we had the best defensive team, and our defense did a super job, and then we know we had good pitching, and the pitching was tremendous. And we know we needed just to chip away, bunt, hit and run, steal. That's our game because we know Bahamians could run, and so we used it to our advantage.
That's Bahamas manager Ken Adderley talking about his team's 1-0 victory over Cuba at the Pan Am U23 tournament in La Chorrera, Panama. The Bahamas scored the only run of the game on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Tariq Sherman was bullish on the mound, pitching 6 in the third shutout innings, giving up 4 hits before Auric Xavier Saint took over to finish Cuba off. He gave the credit to his teammates' defensive performances and their clutch hitting they called Cap.
Yeah, I think the guys did really good, especially defensively. I feel like that's what kept us in the game. Offensively, I mean, we scored. The run was all we needed, so I'm happy with that. Obviously, you want to score a little more, but that one run that gave us the chance to win. So I'm happy, and I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful that I was able to, do my thing and no injuries or anything like that. And I mean, 2-2, I'm not really mad at that. We competed every game, and that's all that matters.
Well, that'll do it for Our Sports at 7:30. I'm Tage Adderley. We're right back here tomorrow for Our Sports Weekend.
Still ahead on our news tonight, the Bahamas Bar Association offering free legal aid this weekend, and attorneys say too many Bahamians are still unaware of their rights. The story when our news continues. Stay with us.
More than 20 years in the making and still growing. Everywhere you turn, our news is there. From Caribta to Caricom and Chogam, the commendation of a queen, the coronation of a king, the controversies, our culture, in times of conscience and collective grief, connecting the stories of a country coming into its own, from then to now and still to come. Our news is everywhere, always there when it counts. What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution. Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court Apartment Complex.
Our news at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Kendino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product.
This is Our News. Welcome back. Imelda, post-tropical, now pushing well out there in the open Atlantic, but we have some trailing moisture from that system across the northwest Bahamas. That's going to be setting up some moisture across us, as well as some showers and thunderstorms for the weekend. So you may need to have rain gear handy. National Hurricane Center actually watching for a low-pressure system to form along that area across the northwest Bahamas, giving that a low to medium chance for formation. So that's an area that we'll continue to monitor. The tropics across the far eastern Atlantic. Strong tropical wave coming off the African coast right now. The National Hurricane Center has bumped up the chances now, has a medium to high chance for formation. Once it gets into the open Atlantic, we will continue to watch this one as most of the models continue to track this well towards the west. Should be approaching the Leeward Islands by the middle to the end part of next week. So we still have some time to watch that. And of course, the remainder of the tropics quiet. Couple of tropical waves moving into the tropical belt, but nothing organized at this time. Closer to home, we do have that moisture plume, as I mentioned, associated with Imelda, right across the northwest Bahamas. Some showers and thunderstorms possible across that area. We also could possibly see 1 or 2 in the central Bahamas. But in the meantime, tight pressure gradient across the northwest Bahamas will continue to keep us on the breezy side. And some swells, which are affecting the islands, still will stay with us through the weekend. So beaching and boating will become a challenge, especially for the Atlantic exposures. Future forecast showing the moisture across that area. That will continue through Saturday, mainly across the northwest Bahamas, but some of the moisture could make it into central Bahamas. So down there you could see 1 or 2 showers as well. But we will continue to keep that moisture plume in place for the northwest Bahamas. Boating, as I mentioned, advisory for the Atlantic side and a caution for the inside islands in the northwest Bahamas. Easterly winds 15 to 20 knots. They will be gusting higher at times, seas running 4 to 6 feet, but they will be building up to 10 feet, possibly even higher along Atlantic exposures in some north to northeasterly swells. For the central and southeast Bahamas, advisory for the Atlantic side as well there. Winds are slightly weaker, southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet near shore, but they will be building up to 10 feet offshore in some northeast to easterly swells. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, with that moisture plume in place, we will continue to keep showers in the forecast throughout the remainder of the weekend and into early parts of next week. A higher chance for Monday and Tuesday, but temperatures will stay rather comfortable. They will reach the upper 80s to near 90 during the daytime and some mid to upper 70s during the nighttime. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night and stay safe, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, are you in need of legal help? Then maybe this story is for you. The Bahamas Bar Association will host a free legal aid clinic from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday at its Clare Road office. Former Criminal Bar Committee Vice President Jairam Mangra says the association has found many are unaware of the law, but he said ignorance of the law doesn't exempt you. In light of this, he says many attorneys thought it necessary to volunteer their services.
Persons coming, have any sorts of issues, especially whether it's criminal. We'll have civil attorneys as well who will be able to assist persons who are in need of assistance.
There may be attorneys that you had considered retaining before. Most of us are going to be out there, especially at the criminal bar. It's such a small group of us that you get to sort of meet who you may consider retaining for your matter, but it's also an opportunity to get guidance on that matter and how to proceed.
All right, and that will be held tomorrow. If you want to see that story again, it's available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.